it's okay. It might move around a little bit depending. So.
It's not going to be idyllic. Oh, it's
Conversation starts radio silence confusing
oh, it's 3.
a little unsteady, but likes the idea of having fun. So it's kind of it's good. We'll see how it goes. And it's a temporary person. It also gets and so in a way it's busy. I'm just wondering if this one has what's that? Oh, yeah. What's that?
but if there's time on the agenda, I can give an update on HPD.
We can, we'll see how it goes. It's funny how these things go. It's always like, we're not gonna have anybody, you know, we're gonna be meeting, and next thing you know, it's. Space on.
I hear you. Well, I can keep it short to like a top 5 points.
I'll find a way.
Okay, and then at the end, I have, I'd like to give a plug for like school board, the public service announcements. Sure.
Suzanne will be actually facilitating, but she's running a couple minutes late. So I'm just going to start off saying a quick hello, a couple quick disclosures. We are streaming live, so if you do not want to appear on camera on the internet, stay outside of this sort of general window. Also, we always take meeting notes. We are attempting to do a voice transcription, so we'll be also running a audio voice transcription. Just again, disclosure, everything is being transcribed. You can pause it if you want to make a statement off the record if need be, but other than that, we're just going to kick things off. I want to very quickly lay out our community agreements. These are just a set of common agreements we use when we operate these meetings. For those who haven't been here before, leading expression, say enough, don't say more than you need to. Also, respectful sharing, which means listen deeply, try to avoid crosstalk, respect meetings, time constraints. I know we started a little bit late because we don't want to feel like this is a big run like a Swiss watch, but at the same time, we always want to respect the fact that we end at 8 o'clock, and so we want to keep things moving. Everybody's here on their own time. Even those of you who are civil service, this is it's an evening, and everybody has other things that they're setting aside to be here, so we want to respect that with our dedication to closing the meeting at 8 o'clock. Obviously, there's opportunities to talk afterwards if need be. We'll hang out. The board members will be here as we break down and talk more. But also, trust and be accountable to these community agreements. They've worked quite a while. We've been doing this for a few years, and I think really well. It's a good way to operate the meetings. And the last thing I'll say is step up, step back. What that means is if you're somebody who likes to talk a lot, experiment with talking less. But also if you are somebody who does not like to talk, experiment with saying a little bit more, with voicing your opinion, with saying a couple extra words, sharing your feelings, because this works best when we're all engaged. Because we're all together. That's a commitment that we make as part of the community association. We don't actually have a formal icebreaker. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of a quieter meeting than it is oftentimes. So we'll just roll right into a couple of very quick updates. First of all, the 501c3 status. We are still pending. Our material has been submitted to the IRS for our formal nonprofit organization status. And that goes through that we can take that material and apply to the state for our 501c3 status. But until we get notice from the federal government, we cannot proceed. Regardless, things are still moving. They're moving at the speed of bureaucracy, and I think we all know what that means. Last month, Optimum Health came here to talk about a zoning change for a residential unit on Greenbelt that they wanted to use as a mental health care facility. And one of the outcomes of that, we talked with them. One of the outcomes was that we are going to sign an MOU, a memorandum of agreement over a few basic principles. First of all, they don't dispense medication out of that location, which is something that they've already agreed on. They also don't do inpatient care. There's no residents on site. They don't have overnight care, anything of that nature. It's all outpatient. And it's also not a place where people get primary care. People are not going to go there to see their doctors. These are all reflections of what they told us about the type of organization they are, the type of services they provide. And I think we're very much in favor of having more mental health services. There's definitely a need, and their goal is to serve people in this area. They have another facility location, and many of the people that they serve do live in or around this area. And so those issues that I've outlined, no medication dispense, no overnight or inpatient care, and they are not a primary care provider. Those are things that they already told us, and changes to those would change the type of institution they are, and also would change the relationship they have with the people they serve and with the community. And so anything that changes those things specifically would require them to come back to us and have a discussion about what that means for the community. And so as long as we can agree on that, and they're very amenable to those terms because it is in line with what their goal is. We'll have an MOU, and we'll be able to, I think, take at least some measure of trust and comfort in the fact that they will provide these services without adding any disruptions or additional factors to the Green Mountain corridor, which is one that I think we all know has a variety of challenges that need to be addressed and need to be served, but also at the same time won't disrupt the community in ways that we're not ready for, because this is a resident-oriented organization. Our number one accountable party that we serve is the people who live in this neighborhood, above and beyond everything else. I'm going to turn it over to Emmy, if you don't mind. We've been working since the beginning of this year on some revisions to the bylaws to make them more representative. So, is there a question?
Yes, I have a question. Why is the door locked? We have to walk all the way around and something going here. We've been doing this for the last couple of weeks.
I'm not sure why the front door is locked. They didn't tell us that.
I believe it's because they had some problems with people coming in the front door because they had 2 fridges full of beer on either side. They were yanking 6 packs out and 6 packs out. And once they lock the front door, maybe people walk around, they stop doing it. So it's the business, it's nothing to do with the community association.
Have you here to give you an update on where we're at with the changes to the bylaws? Changes to the bylaws require 1 month notice to the organization before they're voted on. They will be voted on by all attending members that are members of good standing. And on that note,
Sure, has going to be here, so I'm just going to read what I have. After the summer, we're not going to have a July meeting, that's correct? Okay, so this is our last meeting until August. After that break, as I said, we'll discuss some potential changes to the bylaws, and as I said, we'll have to vote on them. Why are we doing this? Because it's a good time to do it. We're up to probably mostly become a 501(c)(3) organization. That means we're entirely responsible for ourselves, liable for our actions. So it's a good time to review the bylaws, make sure we're following them, and making changes that we need for us to do our jobs as volunteer members and serve our community. They were last amended in 2020, and as far as I can tell, those changes were kind of in response to the pandemic, adding the ability to do online votes and stuff like that. I'm not sure when they were updated before that, but that's the last time they were updated. So the way that this will happen, there are a handful of changes that we think are kind of small, administrative, fixing typos, stuff like that, making tiny changes that we'll bring to you and discuss, but we think it's going to be controversial. We'll vote on those. And then there's 2 sets of bigger changes that are a little more substantive that we want to have a discussion about. And then we'll vote on those separately as well.
I didn't know what we had to walk all the way around.
Those changes have to do with term limits for the board members. And the second one is about who is eligible to be a voting member of the association. So in the fall, we'll have a substantive discussion about the kind of pros and cons of changes, and then we'll vote on it as well. We'll announce it close to this time. Like we said, all votes require 30 days notice, so you will hear about it again. In the meantime, if you want to read our bylaws, they're on the website. If you have any strong suggestions or feelings about what's in the bylaws now, email the association, and we can put it on the agenda to discuss it.
going to be a big deal just because it's exciting. This is the first major public event we've been involved in since prior to the pandemic closures. We're sponsoring or supporting a block party on 27th Street, Ainsley. You want to say a couple quick words about where we're at with that? Just a very brief overview, or
Hey, how is everybody doing? Good. We're planning a block party on Saturday, June 28th, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. So that's 4 hours. Can't say much details about the other stuff on the other side, or no? No.
we don't have, we're still, a lot's up in the air. He already knows he's here.
Oh, he knows. I know that. It was a surprise.
No, I had to make sure he was going to be in town.
Okay, so it's one of the reasons why we're having the block party is to bring the community together, but also to celebrate and highlight the fact that Lou has been a great community member. Like, I don't know when we first met each other, but me and my wife walked out 27, and we just became friends. Every time we see us, hey guys, we doing walking today. Maybe tomorrow I'll walk with you. And it's just like somebody in the community that's always reaching out to people, making sure you feel welcome. And there's going to be a street sign dedication on 27th on the 300 block, right?
Yeah.
On the 300 block. We might still need some help with certain things, so we're still trying to get some funds together to cover probably sound or DJ, things like that. So if you're in the building, a local business or as a community organization, say hello. Yeah, we also look for volunteers. So if you're here and you would like to volunteer to probably just do anything the day of or even before, just contact me.
What's the street name going to be?
Dancing Lou Lane.
Yeah, so that's basically it. Any questions, just talk to me. Or go.
Excuse me, you said, you need some, what? You didn't specify.
Oh, volunteers or fund or financial support, because we have to cover some expenses and we don't want to just go it all on. We don't want to drain the entire workshop.
You still ain't saying much.
So we're
How much?
looking for.
I know what you're looking for, but you said donations.
Money.
Yeah.
I know,
What other type of donation?
I know.
Leslie,
Burgers, dogs, everything, you know? Cheese.
Leslie, we can talk about it. I was going to talk to you about this already. We'll check.
Okay.
You got that PA system in your basement. We'll see if we can borrow it from you.
Yes,
Like
I'm
also
listening.
like face painting, we're trying to like have
Okay.
lighting, some stuff like that.
Yeah, if you have ideas, if you think you have something to offer that you could, if you're
As a
a
community. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we might be asking like, who's got a cornhole set?
Yeah.
That they'd be willing to bring out.
This
that
is-
sort of stuff.
This is not like a grand event. This is not like Ren Fest. This is not like the Able Street Fair.
Yeah.
This is a much more low-key, local
I
event.
know, I gave a couple of them on
Yeah.
our street before
Yeah.
you came. So I understand, old school,
Yeah.
that's all I got.
We're not trying to bring in.
The hip hop.
Right.
Right.
No.
Okay.
But we do want to make sure that, we're supporting without, we can spend as much money as we have on, but we don't have that much.
I know. Do you need the right hot dogs and hamburgers or?
We can't do any vending, but it's also,
Oh.
they'll be grilling. We may get a couple food trucks to show up. It's a street thing. It's a local,
I know, but
people will do what they want to do in front of their houses.
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
We're not gonna, we can't as an organization sell food, so
No,
we're not
you
even
don't.
gonna try.
That's not the idea of giving a block party to sell food.
Exactly.
Okay, it's a community thing where people come out with their grill and everybody enjoy the music. Okay,
You have articulated it perfectly, Leslie, thank you.
I tried.
So I'm on the email chain. I'm just like, sitting there waiting for someone to say, what to do. But I'm just wondering, are you still looking for live music, or have you found people?
We're talking with James Nassie, who's a local DJ, to have him play. If you know other musicians, I submitted in the WhatsApp to if there are Harwood musicians who want to play. Come talk to me. But haven't heard anything back about that. But James is definitely is gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
Okay.
But yeah, we know.
But if you want to play,
No, not me.
You can talk to Sven.
Yeah, okay.
But you only got 4 hours. You know how hard to get the musicians out for 4
Well, that's why we'll
hours.
have the DJ. We'll have it broken
That's
down.
what I'm trying to tell you. It's better to set
Don't
up a
worry,
DJ.
we'll figure out a nice little
Okay.
schedule.
all right, thank you.
It's funny also, the story that Ainsley tells about meeting Mr. Liu is the same story that I have about meeting Mr. Liu, and I guarantee you just about everybody else that knows Liu probably has a story that sounds almost exactly the same as that. You just see him out and he starts talking, and
That's what he
next
does.
thing you know,
Yeah. That's what I do.
the other thing I do want to announce, we got a grant, a healthy neighborhood grant, really exciting, $1,500 for a variety of things, including we're going to have sandwich board signs so that we can have community announcements out around the neighborhood. We got funding to build sandwich board signs. We also got, we're gonna get, stickers. It's also gonna cover the flyering. We have an incredible group of volunteers that do flyering every month. We get every single house to the community association. And this is, I think, as those of you who have been here before know, this is a little bit of a quieter meeting. But one of the things that people always say about Harwood, other community associations, they say Harwood punches above its weight. One of the reasons is because of the flyering, and the flyering is fantastic. And this will actually help us pay for the flyering because that's been coming out of our budget. And it's worth it, but it's just one less thing that we're going to have to spend money on for that. We can direct those funds elsewhere. We'll also get stickers. Everybody loves stickers. We love Harwood Community Association stickers that you can put everywhere. And we're going to get a tablecloth, right? I think that was one of the tablecloth with our logo on it. Lots of good stuff. Anyway, it's not a giant sum of money, but it's going to pay for a bunch of different things that will help us keep each other informed and keep the neighborhood aware of the sort of things we're doing and the sort of resources we can provide. Also, next Sunday, the 8th, the Harwood Community Garden is going to be one of the participants in the Charles Village Garden Wall from noon until 4. There are people that will be walking around little backyard gardens, front yard gardens, small community gardens. The Harwood Community Garden will be one of the larger gardens participating. We are always happy to have people involved in the Harwood Community Garden. If you want to be part of that, let me know. I know just about everybody in the room, but if you are interested at all in participating in the community garden, just let me know. Because we'd love to have a few people hanging out while these folks walk around and look at the garden, which looks fantastic right now, and it's going to look even better next week. We did a lot of planting about 3 weeks ago, and everything is just coming great. There's collards and kale there now, like literally right now. If you want collards or kale, you can go down there and take what you want. It's on the corner of Whitridge and Bartlett. So like just between 2700 and 2800.
Greenbelt.
I'm sorry, that's Greenbelt. Yes, thank you. Yes. And also we got raspberries coming. They should be in by next week. Raspberry bushes look like they're gonna push out a bunch of raspberries. Strawberries are almost done, but still. The mulberry tree is also putting up mulberries if you want those. Other than that, I want to turn it over briefly to.
I just had a question about the sandwich boards.
Yeah.
Do we already have them, or
No, we're building.
Oh, we're building them. Okay, and you know when they're going to be ready by?
I mean, as soon as they give us the money, I'm going to go to the hardware store.
Okay,
So I'm hoping to have a couple prototypes up within the next 2-3 weeks.
Oh, nice. Have you already decided where you're going to place them?
No, that's one thing. We're going to try a couple locations. We have a couple obvious locations, but the other ones we want to make sure we get foot traffic. Zach, mutual aid and resources.
Hi, everybody. I'm Zach. I'm one of the at-large board members. I just want to give a quick pitch for sort of. There's a committee that we started a board that is mutual aid and community resources. We're trying to figure out what that means, what the community can use.
Microphone. Yeah, you're good.
Close now.
Yeah.
This is what we're on. All right.
Yeah.
That's so close. What was I going to say? There were some people who signed up a while ago to be volunteers for mutual aid and community resources group. I'm going to be sending all of you people an email next week about the meeting and coming up with some ideas. Kiana Hope could not be here today, is the other co-chair of the committee, and we've been discussing and mostly think that what the community association would be best positioned to do is less creating programs or doing things correctly with ourselves, but more serving as a clearinghouse for many resources that already exist in Baltimore. So as far as being a volunteer for this committee, it would probably be more things like saying, hey, someone on my block is having an issue with eviction, someone on my block is having an issue with X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to bring that to the community association's attention. And then the volunteers can come and say, hey, I'm going to help you look for some of the resources that can help you with that problem. I'm going to help you figure out how to develop the paperwork to solve that problem, deal with some of the bureaucracy, all that sort of thing. We also have floated the ideas around, were there enough volunteers to say, there's going to be a community association sponsored group that will do things like give neighbors a ride if they need it, help clean out their houses if they need it, do junk hauling, that sort of thing. Anyways, at this point, it's very at the early nascent stages. We're trying to figure it out. But if you would like to be involved, if you signed in and you just want to, in the margins next to your name, put an M&A, I would grab your contact info and add you to the email. But there'll be more to come on that. Thanks.
All right.
Also, as far as that goes, just general resource stuff. I'm going to start bringing to meetings. There is 3 Narcan and 3 fentanyl test strips by the door, as well as 2 pepper plants that I just happen to have. That's sort of unrelated. But please help yourself. I'm also going to try and start stocking these with COVID tests. These are free for anyone. They're nice to have on hand. If you or anyone in the community near you needs them, please help yourself.
Everybody, I'm Savannah. Adam and I are the people who are working on the 27th Street Park. We have our most recent update is that the Neighborhood Design Center will be launching their community engagement effort with us to get all of our input on what we want to see for the design, which will be really important. You'll see Mara Dwyer, who is a local resident. She also just happens to work at NBC, and so we are a nice person, about neighbor in the who knows park, and some people here So if you have any, talk to her or email, you can email me, you can email us, or we'll be at a future meeting probably. But did we have any other updates? No?
We'll have a kickoff meeting and then we talk about meetings. It's supposed to happen, so probably for volunteers, it'll be like July or August.
Okay, so NBC said they gave us a certain timeline for it, which is supposed to be starting in June, and considering it's the second, should be soon. But we'll have more information about that. We'll try to send it out on all of our various methods. But they will be soliciting volunteers to also help engage people, because obviously there are people who a nonprofit group cannot reach, that like, and certain of us can't reach. So, you know, we need all of our neighbors to get as much feedback, because we want the space to be for people who don't necessarily come to these meetings and stuff. So, yeah, but that's exciting stuff that this is happening, because this should be about a 4-month, probably give it 5 months really, but 5-month long process. And then we'll have a design, and then we'll be able to submit it to the city, and they'll be able to tell us what they can pay for, and then we'll.
Ooh, new park!
Bay Hanson? It's Bay Hanson. Okay, I need to throw it over to the major, and then we'll jump to you. I know you have a time crunch, but I do want to introduce, we have Odette mentioned her, I think, a couple times in the last couple of meetings, but the new Northern District's commander is here, and she's just going to say a few good words. I had the opportunity to meet her last week, and really appreciate her sense of humor.
Sorry.
I'm not a fan. I look very good on camera.
You look good.
Those should be very happy.
Fine, yeah.
So I'm Major Saunders. I'm the new commander at the Northern, but I am not new to the Northern. I was here as a rookie sergeant. I was here as a lieutenant. I was here as a captain, and I'm back here. And as I explained last week, I'm either going to die in my chair or I'm going to retire from here. One of the two is probably going to happen. Hopefully the second. I like to be living on the beach somewhere in retire. So I'm really familiar with a lot of the problems in the area. I do try to make as many community meetings as possible. However, I emphasize that I have 52 communities in the Northern District. So sometimes you might not see me for a few months, you might see me pop back up in October. Unless there's somebody who specifically want me here, or usually someone from my team, either Sergeant Leo, Officer McBride, or we'll have tomorrow. He's Officer Ingram. He's the officer that gentleman, when he's working, this is his assigned territory, is 27 posts. So we're broken down into like, we have 8 now, we have 2 sectors, we used to have 3. 8 posts in Sector 2 and 7 in Sector 1. And we're kind of split around, I guess around Charles-ish. We go, so basically, if you're not familiar with how big the Northern is, we basically go from 25th Street all the way up North Berkeley County, a few blocks in, on either side, and then all the way over like past Druid Park at the bottom, and then the district kind of does this. So we also go all the way to Reisterstown Road, Park Heights, Pimlico. So we're very big. We're very, and if you recognize some new neighborhoods, you know we're very busy. And then we only have 3 NCOs. Right now we only have 2 who got promoted. And we're holding interviews actually today and tomorrow trying to fill his spot, which will give you a whole sergeant and 2 officers. So resources obviously are a little tight. Okay. I did bring some flyers for you guys. Some of the things that were piquing my interest earlier, there's a business owners, some of the things like commercial robberies, that's where you guys really drove up the last 28 days, and most of those were not like they walked in necessarily and held a cashier at gunpoint. It was they walked in, stole something, the employee then tried to physically stop not the person, and it became a commercial robbery, but it's something called a larceny gone bad. So that's what you guys spiked in the last month. And then, like you were one this year, 0 last year, and aggravated assaults. And that was like a dispute with like over co-workers dealing tools, and one burglary over 0 last year. So I think put out maybe burglary flyers. I'm trying to get a burglary pamphlet that we have redone because it's like 16 pages, and I know those people are gonna take it, throw it in their car seat, throw it in the trash. I'd rather get it a nice one you might actually, I don't know, you're sitting around in the morning, drinking your coffee, or doing whatever, put it in the can, invite her, things there, something good for you, right? But that's kind of where you guys are with stuff. Year to date, you were up pretty high, also in aggravated assaults, a lot of those were domestics, known persons inside of houses. The other section that was override was burglaries again, so that's why I included burglary flyers. But, and if my time's looking at someone else on the crunch, do you guys have any questions of me? This won't be the last time you see me, you might not see me in July. You might, I don't know. Okay, like I said, here's the 2 meetings.
I tell all the officers, thank you for your support.
Oh, the other thing also is, you can't make that. We also have a new manners meeting once a month, which you can either join virtually and schedule a meeting, or you can come see my castle on the hill in West Cold Spring in the Northern District. I give snacks. That's good. Some people come. Not like they're like chips. I'll be honest. But other snacks. But you do do something different. You can join virtually. You can come in person. Go on the Baltimore Police website. Links and everything are right there. You just go to Find My District. It's the second Wednesday of every month.
Where is this at again?
It's either at the Northern District, or you can go on the Baltimore Police website, Find My District Northern, and it'll give you the link to Zoom.
Okay, but those who don't do internet as well.
Then you gotta come and see me. The show is much better in person.
As soon as I find out, because I only been here 9 years, so my sense of direction is
I mean,
not.
literally from Greenmount Avenue, Greenmount, go north, it turns into York. Make a left on Cold Spring.
Cold Spring, I know where Cold Spring.
Follow it. You'll cross over 83.
Hey,
And right as you go up the hill, we're right there on the left.
okay.
It's not that bad.
73, yes it is for me.
And my mother's 80. She was digging with me in the dark, planting more plants than somebody gave me that I had to figure out where I was going to put them because I got a dozen more tomato plants.
Oh
I'm
my.
not sure what I'm doing all the tomatoes I'm going to have this year, but
I'll be there. I love garden
I'll be
cooking.
right there. I was just donated from my asset management person from 7-Eleven brought me 8 boxes full of plants, all kinds of stuff. So
Wow.
I was planting all day yesterday. And I was very impressed with my skills. Put a new lawnmower blade on. My neighbors all think I'm nuts because I cut the grass once this week. So, and they have the same company with these, and they're from like Montana, and they're like, yeah, we must be really lawn nuts. But I cut it Monday and I cut it yesterday. But I had to test out my handiwork on the mower. And I remember to unplug the spark plug before I spun the blade, so that was actually good. I wouldn't have any ditches probably if I had. What else you got? Somebody's got a question.
Anybody?
No, but it's on.
So I am a CBCB liaison.
That's English. I have a lot of acronyms I have to
I know,
remember.
yeah, it's the benefits just for.
Got it. I can go around all the time.
Yeah, Ron.
Yep.
So, because if you're gonna come to some of our meetings, like, should we be bringing him into the meetings? Because he is our main resource, like, for updates on this kind of stuff, but.
You can. Ron gets a report from all the time. He goes to my intel meetings that I have in my district every Tuesday. They're not open to the public, but he gets information from us that way. Ron and I have been dealing with each other like 5 or 6 years now. Pretty much since he took the job.
He was here last week.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, either way, and then like I said, there's something specific. We'll try and always have somebody from the department here with at least basics on crime. If there's something specific you want us to maybe address, let us know that too. Probably a little better harm if you're seeing certain things. here and talk to my mom's Italian club about elder safety, like, because they get scammed a lot of on the internet, you know. So you hear stuff and see what you're interested in hearing about. It's kind of like what I do with my commanders, and ask them for the community. Hey, I can stand here and talk to you for an hour, or we can do something different. So it's up to you.
What?
I knew you were gonna.
I
was waiting for it.
We have a camera on our street. Does that work?
What's your name on?
Which?
Yeah.
I've had my car stolen twice, and they always ask the neighbors who have a camera on your door.
Well, that camera is one of our city watches. So there's not somebody watching that camera 24/7.
I
We
understand.
watch it, but what happens is it goes in a rotation. So if there's not somebody actually controlling it, it might be facing this way and your car is here.
Oh,
Does
okay.
that make sense?
Yeah,
So
it makes
may not
sense, but
pick
it
it
don't
up.
make sense.
It may
I
not
understand
pick it
what
up.
you're saying.
What kind of car you got though? May I ask that?
there.
Good, perfect.
You got a wheel?
When you come to my commander meeting next Wednesday, I got a steering wheel lock for you.
She's got.
I got one, but I only got, the key is hard to put in because it's not grooved in right, and I'm having a problem with that. So
Give it down to show her.
when they stole my car, they gave me one, but the keys doesn't work properly. And
We'll come down and show you how to use it.
I already know how to use it. It's just that it don't go in the grooves.
Have you stolen it with the lock on it in the past?
It didn't have a lock on it. The police lady, officer gave me one when it was stolen.
I'm not going to suggest this,
Okay.
but I still have my original The Club, the red one from like 30 years ago. I haven't seen the key for it in 25.
Okay.
And I still stretch it across my steering wheel every now and again. And trust me, they're going to look and probably walk by. Even like put it on.
I got it. I put it on.
Put it on for appearance, even if you can't get it locked out in a particular room. And if nothing else, it's a very good impact tool.
I already know that. But I just want another one because I only got one key, and if I lose that key, my
So I'm going to give you my card. You call me, and we will get one to you tomorrow.
ooh, look at the blessings. See, if you don't come up, you won't get nothing.
Oh, we're going to give you one tonight. Unless you're going to put a pot of coffee on, I'm not going to visit anyway.
I can put a
And the other thing, I don't know when we're going to get them, but they are, I just ordered them actually because I just bought my nephew a car because I'm such a nice aunt. You know what I was thinking. But like they make a lot of people are stealing tags up. I think I got a set of, I think it was 8 of the screws and they come with a special hex. So they can't just come with a screwdriver and take your license plates off.
Okay.
You know, on Amazon, anywhere from like 6 to 8. Not that I'm toting Amazon. I just have a really bad habit. Really bad habit, actually. I don't drink anymore, so I go to Amazon. But they're special screws for your license plate, so they can't just come and unscrew with any old, you know, socket or anything. So those things help too. We're supposed to be purchasing them as a department to give out. I don't know when that's going to happen. Probably be faster just done in 6 or 7 months.
There's a screw that goes with your license plate that they won't take it off. And what's the name of it?
You can just put license plate screws.
Listen, I can help
And
you.
it can, yeah, it's nice over.
Okay. I need to go.
Yeah, they're like, I think I got a set, like $6 or $7. I got a set of 8 of them.
Okay.
So.
That's what mutual aid is all about. Getting what you need.
Well, that's my brother.
But we do have clubs. Anyone else that owns a Kia on the safety update? If you have had the safety update, the software for Kia and Hyundai, please still use the club.
I do.
Because, well, some people don't, and they think I have the software update, and they come out to their car the next day, and the steering column's ripped out. They didn't steal the car, but the car's back at the shop now.
Right.
Because they think like, oh, there's some beacon that says, you can't steal my car. No, just let it try. So the club on it.
That's when the second time they came around. And I do have that anti-theft, but they tore my steering wheel
That's
up.
the thing, they will do it, they'll still try to take it.
Right.
Because they're not going to take the time to read the sticker this big, this
No.
size, you know? They're gonna still try to steal your car, they're gonna damage your steering column, they're gonna damage your ignition, they won't be able to take the car. But you're still gonna be running the car, you're still gonna be putting your car in the shop.
Yeah.
Bye, Toyota. I'm sorry, that's my plug.
All right, thank you.
And, yes, sir.
Last month we were talking about some traffic calming things on 28th and 29th Street, speed limits. I was
talking about that.
That's,
Okay.
no updates on that.
In the meantime, can there be a police presence there? It's not hard to catch these guys, because your cars are probably faster than theirs, but they
Oh, you'd be surprised.
they're flying.
And we don't chase cars.
Well, will some presence slow them down? Where is that?
It's right in front of Barclay Elementary. It's horrendous. The number of accidents we have, the speed, it's crazy. We're working on calming measures with DOT, but it's a very long process. And cars continue to just absolutely just tear down.
Are there certain times of the day that are worse than others?
There are children walking to and from school.
I mean, I don't have a car I can designate every day.
I'm saying that those are the times in which it is most frightening.
School hours.
Because there are children that walk unaccompanied up Barclay and have to cross from both 28 and 29.
We'll see what we can do if someone's right there. Are they speeding? They run a sign,
They're trying, they're seeing the next green light. They're trying to get to it before it goes red. Or they're waiting at the red lights and then trying to make up for lost time by nailing it down either way. All the streets starting at Maryland, which is where it turns into 2 lanes. Nobody's speeding through Remington.
DOT is going to be working on retiming the lights. That is part of it.
Where are you from? I hear an accent.
I don't have an accent. You guys all have the accent.
Where are you from, seriously?
I have no accent. This is the way.
Massachusetts? Yes. I was born in Fall River, but I lost my accent.
You put things in the washing machine?
No, I was born in Massachusetts. I'm not from Maryland.
I know very well. I actually saw the ambulance, I didn't see it, I heard the ambulance at Guilford at 28th, the Sunday before last. And she had her, I didn't see it, I heard it. Nobody pays any attention to sirens if they're not involved.
Well, we'll try to get
The
some
neighbor said that the siren was on, but the woman who hit her was insisting that she had a green light. There was a witness who was supporting the other drivers. She had a green light, but bingo.
So I'll see you on my day work shift as LiDAR certifications, if we can run some radar down there. Well, we do not chase cars, just so you know.
No, I was not.
I'm living proof why, because I got green. And I'm going out right now, so we don't
They
get
just
this
want
car.
to take them off.
But even just one of those like speed, radar things. I also, I was my next door neighbor.
We do not have any of the like local that you're talking about. It's
That's all DOT.
Even not having a police car there, I do agree sometimes.
But it's more realistic if we can get one of those digital readers
Yeah.
than relying on the police car sitting there.
Yeah.
Remember, 52 communities, told you how big we are. They work at 13 cops. If I'm lucky. If they all show up to work, they work at 13 cops. From past Green Mountain, all the way to Reisterstown, all the way to the county.
Yeah.
Yeah, this sense of the area is about 15 and a half square miles. 13 police. So just keep that in mind, too. I think I'm getting kicked off. He's gonna need a shepherd's for next time I'm gone. Alright, if you guys want information, remember my people, next Wednesday, come back to follow. Thank you.
You know, so just, appreciate it. Micah has been waiting patiently for 2 months to do this. So she's going to go by and talk about some of the Senate Baltimore. No, I'm sorry, it's not one. They against, yes. Green and Healthy Homes.
I'm so sorry, everybody, for cutting you guys off. I just have this one. Alright. Okay, so hi everyone. So my name is actually Shawnia Musa. I'm the Outreach and Education Manager at Green and Healthy Homes, and my lovely colleague Dave Hansen, who is Outreach and Education Coordinator, made sure that we could be here today, so I'm really grateful. So I actually used to live right on 29th Street, so it's actually really lovely to be back. I just actually moved to Mount Vernon, so I'm really happy to be here. So I just want to briefly talk about Green and Healthy Homes Initiative. So I believe it's that. Yes, okay, so Zach is talking about community resources and mutual aid. Green and Healthy Homes is one of those community resources that is really beneficial and vital for folks that own homes, live in homes in Baltimore City. So please raise your hand if you are a homeowner. Okay, awesome, great. Okay, so what I'm going to go through today is just talk to you a little bit about our organization, and I'm going to go through some of our different programs and services, and then leave you guys with the 10 elements of a healthy home. It's kind of what we want all of the people that we work with to walk away from, so that way when they go into their homes, they make sure that they're instilling habits to be safe and healthy in their home. Okay, so Green and Healthy Homes Initiative was actually founded in 1992 as a coalition to end childhood lead poisoning. Okay, so lead poisoning in Maryland was really, really high. Green and Healthy Homes Initiative, well, coalition to end childhood lead poisoning, helped reduce lead poisoning in Maryland by 99% over the past 30 years. It's phenomenal. However, we still have, on average, about 4 in Baltimore per year who have exorbitant levels of lead in their blood. Okay, so if we think about it, right? Lead was outlawed in 1978. We know, especially in this neighborhood, there are a lot of older homes, right? Most of Baltimore has older homes built before 1978. Okay, so there will be lead paint in the home unless there was lead abatement or if they did some type of cleaning measure to ensure that the paint was covered and safe. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. Okay, so Green and Healthy Homes has a bunch of different programs and services to assist. Now, unfortunately, if you are a homeowner, the law doesn't necessarily help you. Okay, if you are a tenant though and you rent, the law can absolutely help you. So Green and Healthy Homes has free legal services for families who are concerned about lead in their home. It doesn't even have to be lead in the home. You just have to have what we call chipping, peeling, flicking paint, because that most likely is lead paint. And if there's a child in the home under 6 or a pregnant mom, then we can represent you in court. But on top of that, we can just provide general lead education. Okay, so if you are concerned about lead paint in your home and you're a homeowner, please give us a call and we can educate you. All right. Some of our other services that we have an asthma care management program. Now, it's going to look a little bit different from the new fiscal year, which is July 1 for us. So I'm just going to talk about what we used to do, and hopefully we'll be able to do it from July 1. Okay? If you have a child that is diagnosed with asthma between the ages of 2 and 18, we can provide you free services, free education. We can give you a HEPA vacuum, air purifier, mattress cover, pillowcase, air quality control monitor, carbon monoxide detector, a bunch of stuff completely for free as long as the child has asthma. Okay? On top of that, we have an Aging in Place program. So that is for adults over the age of 65 who are concerned about mobility issues in their home. Okay? Now, the other programs besides the lead program, that's for anyone, a homeowner or a renter. Okay? So if you're above the age of 65 and you're an individual living in the home, you make $68,000 a year or less, we can go into the home, do a comprehensive home assessment. We can provide grab bars, chair lifts, improved lighting, slip and fall prevention mats in the home, shower seats, etc., just to make sure that aging adults can stay in their home for as long as they would like. Okay, and that is again completely free, but only if you make under $68,000 a year, and it goes up incrementally based on who's in the home. Okay, and then on top of that, we have a childhood injury prevention program as well. That's also completely free. We have other general home intervention services. So again, if you're concerned about just different things in the home, if something is broken, it needs to be fixed, we can do that as well. Okay. So I am going to leave you guys with some resources. We have our programs and services, which lists out all of our services in Baltimore City. Okay. Then we also have our electrification fact sheet. All right. We're trying to get rid of gas. So raise your hand if you have a gas stove. I just yeah, okay. So, did you know you're actually 40% more likely to get asthma if you have a gas stove? Right. So, we are trying to electrify Baltimore, okay? Move away from gas and move all the way to electric. And that might even decrease your They're very sick walking across the street. It's absolutely scary. So I'm sorry to cut that conversation short because that's really that point. All that to say though, we're going to do a little call and response, and then I promise I'll be out of here. And then my colleague A is going to stay a little bit afterwards if you guys have any questions. I got it right. Okay? So, 10 elements of a healthy home. Please repeat after me. Number 1, dry. Dry. Thanks, guys. All right. So you want to make sure that the home is dry, no humidity. Okay? If the home is moist, what can that create? What do you think? Mold. Wow. Good job, guys. Okay. Yes, we don't want to breathe in mold. That's horrible. All right. So that's number 1. Repeat after me. Number 2, clean. Clean. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Okay. We just want to make sure all of our surfaces are clean. No sticky substances, so insects cannot accumulate on your counters. Make sure you're taking your trash out, okay? Number 3, contaminant free. Contaminant free. Thank you. All right, so this is again using natural cleaning products. Don't use harsh chemicals, okay? You want to use things that are natural. If you want to even create your own using vinegar, water, etc., go ahead and do that. All right, stay away from fabulous. So I love it too, but it's not the best ingredient. All right. Next one, repeat after me. Pest free. Pest free. Beautiful. All right, we do not want rodents. Nice. Other things in our home. Okay, we're in Baltimore. It might happen, right? It might not even be your fault, okay? But pests are an asthma trigger. They are triggers for breathing issues. So it's really, really important that the home is pest free, okay? Repeat after me. Safe. Safe. So essentially that just means you have a smoke detector. Okay, I didn't have one of mine. All right. Carbon monoxide detector. Okay, I did have one of those, and when I was moving out, moving off, I was terrified. Okay, called the fire department. All right, so you just want to make sure all those things are working and are in good condition. All right, number 6, well maintained. Well maintained. Awesome. So again, if you have nails sticking out of your stairs, that's unsafe. Okay, you might trip and fall. You don't want that. All right, so making sure that everything is well maintained. Okay. Number 7, well ventilated. Well. All right, so with the rise of COVID, I think we all got really excited about air purifiers. That's a good thing, okay? We want to keep having air purifiers in our home, changing those filters. If the air quality is outside, making sure that you're opening those windows. And if you have a gas stove, put that exhaust fan on while you are cooking, okay? Number 8, energy efficient. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. So again, smart thermostats, LED light bulbs, making sure that your windows are sealed. There's no drafts coming in. Again, so you've got drafts, okay? You're gonna crank up that heat in the wintertime, and your heating bill is gonna be super high, all right? All right, number 9, we're almost done. Thermally controlled. Thermally controlled. Awesome. So again, making sure that your home is insulated correctly, okay? Again, we actually do, I failed to mention, we have energy efficiency programs as well, completely for free, okay? So if you need insulation installation, if you need the LED light bulb, you can also do that, all right? And last but not least, my favorite one, electrify. Electrify. Yes, moving away from gas, going over to electric. We have some programs that might be able to assist you with making that switch, but I don't want to claim it without really knowing, okay? So, we have a bunch of our pamphlets and flyers over there. If you are a tenant and you are concerned about lead in your home, we do have this pamphlet on how to use rent escrow, which is basically paying your rent to the court rather to the landlord while it's out, goes to my house, county guy. And then I really want everyone to walk away with this. If you are a tenant, this is a QR code, only if you're a tenant. This is not going to work here at home, okay? If you are a renter, all right, you can find your property on the lead registry on the Maryland Department of Environmental Protection, okay? That will be able to tell you if your home is lead-free, lead-safe, when it was built, or if you don't have a certificate at all, that's really bad, and you need to call us, okay? So, definitely grab one of these if you are a tenant, all right, and you can search your property, okay? I really have to run. I wish I could see your questions, okay? You got it? Okay. So, is it answering questions you guys have?
Is that for homeowners or renters for the efficient for them to come out
For energy efficiency?
No, because I'm a senior by myself and I need some energy. Did put in my chair and everything, but I'm a renter.
Yeah, so we do it for renters and for homeowners. So the only program that is just for renters is our lead program. Everything else is for homeowners and for renters. Okay? And so what, I will leave a sign-in sheet too, if you guys are interested in signing up for services, you can put your name and phone number down, we'll connect you directly to our intake specialist, and she'll get you set.
But they said every 5 years.
Oh.
Yes, when I signed up for it, last year, they said they weren't coming out because I had already had every 5 years.
Was it BG&E or was it Harwood?
I just went to a meeting and signed up for
So-
anything. I thought it was for.
Yeah, that would be us, so I'm gonna leave our information.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Yes, all your programs free for homeowners.
All of them are completed. We do not ask for anything. Anybody else?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to try to keep things moving. We have a couple more people that have a few updates, but please ask questions if you have them. We have there's a couple more things. In particular, Micah, who has been doing Norman Farm. Micah, do you want to say a couple quick words on the subject? 8 minutes. Alright, we have a couple more people coming up after this. Thanks to those of you who are waiting. Abel, Rob, I got you. Don't worry. Micah has been doing a lot of work. Those of you who are around for the asset mapping, really fantastic. We've got some updates. Thank you.
Perfect. Hi, my name is Micah. I work at Central Baltimore Partnership as a community partnership coordinator. So about 2 months ago, we did asset mapping, as Isaac mentioned, and I have some takeaways that I wrote down and noted. So one of them was localized program needs, like small programs and needs that the community is looking for, especially for our older population and children and younger families who are having children. Another one is access to healthy foods, especially for people, our elderly population who are immobilized and who have a hard time getting to places in certain areas. We're looking hard into this, and we should have our needs assessment in August. So since you guys will have a community association meeting next month, we should provide some updates in August. Another thing is the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development fiscal year for 2026, Part E. CBP was awarded $2.5 million in these applications that are due July 2nd at 2:59 p.m. So if you have any questions regarding Bernie, please see me after the meeting and point you in the right direction or make contact through CBP. I think that is it. Oh, actually, I lied. That's not it. So CBP is now going in the direction with Central Baltimore Health Partnerships, which will now be overseen along with hearing. So in this we'll be talking about housing, youth opportunities, and healthy food options for healthy food opportunities. So if you are looking to be on the newsletter and get a newsletter website, our website will be launching mid-June, so probably like the next 2 weeks or so. And then for the newsletters, those will be going up starting July 1. So if you guys have any questions for me, I'm sitting right here, I have my notepad, anything. So yeah.
One really quick note, I do want to thank you all for bearing with us. The sound levels, obviously less than ideal. Our hope is the 29th Street Community Center will be reopening at the end of this month, which means that come August, we will be able to have our meetings back there at a normal sound level. We probably will not need this. I'm almost absolutely certain we won't.
I'll bring it anyway.
Thank you, Izzy, for bringing this because, I mean, at least we don't have people playing pinball right now, but, and I mean, the music is great, and I love the songs last year. We had some really good stuff last time too. But, I know, it's a small room, and the noise is not conducive to hearing everything exactly. Rob, you wanted to provide a couple quick updates, and then Abel is going to provide a couple quick updates as well.
I just wanted to say very quickly, you can leave out the front door, you just can't enter it, so that will have to walk shorter if you're ready.
Testing. Hi everybody, my name is Rob. I realize now that I know a lot fewer people in this room than I know. I am a business owner from Matthew Street. My partner and I have been in East Harwood since 2012. At a time when Mary will tell you, our neighbor, that East Harwood was kind of rough and tumble back then. From then till now, we've really made a significant transformation. We've got a lot of new homeowners in the neighborhood. We have a kind of a small business, if you will, on Matthew Street, where we have a flex space building that we built that houses an importer of delicious chocolate-covered dates from the Middle East, a gentleman that charges screw batteries for Baltimore City, a woman that operates a business called Ironworks Pottery. It's beautiful pottery, and then 4 business partners from Morgan State that soon are going to begin brewing and bottling alcoholic tea. Pretty interesting. We're wrapping up construction of our second flex space building. We're on the verge of starting 4 more home renovations, so even though interest rates are a little bit high right now, it's a great time to buy a home. We have on East 27th Street, almost across the street from where Mary lives, a home that has $40,000 in grants for a home buyer. So if you happen to know any renters that would like to pursue home ownership, now is a great time for that. And hopefully at the end of this month, when we have the block party on 27th Street, maybe folks will take a walk across Green Mountain Avenue and check out what's going on very colorful East 27th Street on Manhattan. Thank you.
One of our neighbors up here in the Abel neighborhood, Abel is going to be coming up to say a couple quick words. Ongoing issue that we've been very engaged with, which is the issues related to the Johns Hopkins Police Force, and there's a lot of ins and outs. This is an issue that's been going on for several years in terms of the idea of bringing some measure of accountability to the Johns Hopkins approach to having their own police force that would be unaccountable to anybody but Johns Hopkins themselves. We've been trying to make sure that we as a neighborhood have some say in that, and Able and several other neighborhood associations who also border or rest within boundaries of Hopkins properties have raised similar concerns about wanting to make sure that any police institutions that are full-fledged police institutions have a measure of accountability incorporated into how they operate, which is not necessarily the case with Hopkins, but Abel, take it away.
Hey everyone, Abel Waltech, 3000 Block Wilford. Great to see you all. I love coming to Harwood meetings because you have always such interesting stuff going on and such a great level of energy. I just want to give you a couple updates. You've heard me speak before, and I know that coming to a meeting like this, you just want to hear like the most important things. This is a long-running campaign against the Johns Hopkins Police Department by the community, and there's a lot of moving parts. I'm just going to give you a couple of the top updates. So just to recap, some of the reasons why the community has been so opposed to the idea of a private police department. First off, transparency is an issue. Our public police department, the Baltimore Police Department, will respond to public records requests, but the Johns Hopkins Private Police Department does not. They say they're not subject to the Public Information Act. Accountability is a big issue. Like Isaac was just saying, the private police department by Johns Hopkins University is accountable to President Daniels, who is not elected, and the Baltimore Police Department is ultimately accountable to the mayor, here. Now, on May 8th, there was an incident on campus. Some of you know that in May of last year, in 2024, there was an encampment for Palestine Justice Collective on Hopkins Beach. Well, on May 8th, there was another protest on campus, and leading into this, Calvin Smith of Johns Hopkins University had assured the students in the community that Hopkins police would respect nonviolent, peaceful protest, and police would only be used as a last resort. Well, students set up a demonstration. They started putting up tents for a pro-Palestine event, and within a half hour, Johns Hopkins police arrived, shut them down, violently injured 2 students in the process of doing this. So it clearly shows that they want to use their police as the first resort, not the last resort. There was no attempt to talk to the students or to have any kind of discussion about it. On April 28th, there was a rally in City Hall. There was a great series of speeches out in front of the Old Memorial Plaza. That is posted on our video channel. We can get the link to Isaac to share with you, but it's a video channel titled Savings About GDP. So right now, the top initiative of the community is to try to get a city council hearing on Johns Hopkins police. Thanks. So right up to now, there's been no city council hearing, no public oversight of the Johns Hopkins Police Department. And there's, after the rally, we got to speak with city council members and learned that there's essentially 2 paths to get a hearing. One is the general informational hearing that the city council calls for, and that's by a resolution of city council. And the second way is a legislative oversight hearing. The chair of a committee like public safety saying, hey, let's have a hearing about this. So to get an informational hearing, we talked through that, and we need to get 4 city council members. So far, we've got Jermaine Jones, District 12, and Odette, District 14, who support a hearing. We are working to get meetings with Zach Blanchard and Councilman Antonio Glover. And if we can get those 2 on board, we think we will get a If you have any friends who live in District 4, Councilman Mark Conway's district, which is to the north of District 14, let me know. We're trying to find people in District 4, constituents of Mark Conway, who would be willing to help us call for a hearing. 2 more brief points about Johns Hopkins Police. Some of you have heard about the Civilian Review Board. The Civilian Review Board in Baltimore City was a great organization. It had true accountability powers. It had the ability to subpoena and investigate. The Civilian Review Board is being abolished and eliminated. The Police Accountability Board is fine, but it doesn't have the power to subpoena. It doesn't have the power to investigate. It's not run by civilians. So we're losing that critical part of police accountability in the city of Baltimore. And with regard to the Johns Hopkins Police, the Civilian Review Board is actually in the state law that created the Hopkins Police to say that the Hopkins Police is accountable and is under the jurisdiction of the Civilian Review Board. So with that being lost, that element of accountability is going away too. So I'm actually some concerned about that. And then the last thing I'll leave you is we have 1 sighting that Johns Hopkins Police were patrolling the street outside of the lawful boundaries. So we're trying to get confirmation that that's racist. So that's an update of, I think, the most important things going on with this and where we are in the campaign. While we're here in this meeting, there's the Baltimore City Police Accountability Board happening, and activists are happening, trying to press for accountability and making sure that the Baltimore Police Department is aware and tracking, because the whole jurisdictional boundaries between Hopkins Police and Baltimore Police, it's a mess. Nobody has it figured out. There's no maps that you can find that show you where the Hopkins Police stops and the city police start. It's a kind of a Swiss cheese, so that's work in progress. But, so I just wanted to thank you for your attention. Happy to take any questions, and if I can come on at the end, I'll talk about mutual aid and contract.
So there were 3 plaintiffs, Joan Floyd, Cushman Pratt, and Donald Gresham, and their case was dismissed about a year ago for lack of standing. It wasn't dismissed on the merits of the case. It was, the court said, we don't believe you have enough standing to bring the case. So all the research that they did, all the problems that they documented, is still out there. Yes.
So what are the boundaries for the JHU police? Where are they allowed to patrol?
So there's an outer boundary that goes around each of the campuses. For the Homewood campus, it goes out as far as Calvert Street. But those are just the outer boundaries. The jurisdiction is limited within those boundaries to being immediately adjacent to property that Johns Hopkins University owns, and that is used primarily for educational purposes. So what it means is that within those boundaries, there's kind of a Swiss cheese, where if you're not immediately adjacent to the Hopkins property, then you're still under Baltimore Police Department. But that means it changes block by block, square foot by square foot, and they aren't even consistent in how they apply the rules. So I'll just give you an example. Peabody campus, it's 1 city block. The public property that's immediately adjacent to that is the sidewalk. But they have extended the jurisdiction, so around Peabody, it covers the Washington Monument, the North Quad, the East Quad, the South Quad, not the West Quad, and the park in the middle of the street above the Mount Vernon place, right north of Peabody. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Most of that is not immediately adjacent. And that's just one of the issues that people have pointed out. This doesn't match the law.
When you say outer boundary, does that mean like how far they can chase people? What's the difference between outer and inner boundary here?
Great question. Another of the issues we have about the jurisdiction is that fresh pursuit is accepted. Is an exception, so they can go outside the boundaries if there's fresh pursuit. And with the permission of the mayor, they can actually operate anywhere in the city of Baltimore. And that's kind of the big, I don't want to say a loophole, but it's a way that we don't know where they will ultimately end up.
Do you know Diana Emerson from Waverly Main Street? Diana Emerson?
I do know Diana. Main Street, Waverly Main Street,
yeah.
Former April president.
Yeah, well, I think she actually lives somewhere up near the Senator, so I think she is in District 4. So if you want someone who's in District 4, she might be someone to reach out to.
I didn't know she moved up.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. I will check with her. Cool. Question?
Yeah, so obviously with the Baltimore police, they're part of the justice system more generally. With this, can this police, what are they empowered to actually do in these areas where they are roaming around?
So it's not just the campus police. The Johns Hopkins Private Police is unique in having the authority to police public streets outside campus.
Right, but they're not policing where they live.
They have full arrest authorities. They have the ability to serve warrants, to conduct investigations. They have access to the Baltimore City Crime Lab. It's a full range of police powers. Yeah, M4, they have like M4 military assault rifles in a lot of area.
They signed a memorandum of agreement with the Baltimore City Police Department at a time, a couple of years ago, when the Baltimore City Police Department was accountable not to the city, but to Annapolis. Only recently has Baltimore City regained its authority
Local control.
over it. So when they signed the agreement, they signed it with the Baltimore City Police Department and said, yes, you are an official police department within Baltimore. But the Baltimore Police Department was not under the authority of Baltimore City at that time. So that's another wrinkle, is we now have local control. The city council and mayor now have authority over the police. But that memoranda was signed before they had that authority. So the question, that's another question that is ultimately, the bottom line, and I've said this, at least to me, is it comes down to accountability. The goal of law enforcement, as they say, is to serve and protect. Who are they serving and who are they protecting? Because Baltimore City is not in charge of Hopkins, and Baltimore City residents do not necessarily feel that they're not going to be protected by Hopkins. So what it is essentially a private police force with all of the authority of a public police force.
And not much of the accountability or transparency.
Right.
I always wanted to know what they're there, because I don't see nothing but walking up and down the street or congregating on a corner or whatever.
Those are the security guards. That's different. They're just there for PR. Those are just private security guards.
So who are y'all talking about?
And Johns Hopkins.
The armed police department.
Okay.
Armed Johns Hopkins Police Department.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're brand new, they have not been around.
They just started driving around.
Y'all got me so confused.
You'll know when you see it.
Yeah, they're also different than the benefits district allied,
Yeah.
security guard.
I understand that, but what are they why are they walking up and down?
Listen, we can talk about that after. I'll tell we can about it.
Well,
They're
why
just-
am I at this meeting if I don't get any answers while I'm here?
Okay, I'm saying, listen,
Okay,
the cops on those corners, they're there for one reason and one reason alone.
okay.
Is because people with lots of money send their kids to Johns Hopkins and they're afraid of their kids being in Baltimore.
But those people.
Let me answer your question. If you want to answer, you've got to let me answer.
And I will not say that.
The security guards are on the corner so that Johns Hopkins can tell the parents of their students, look, we're protecting the students. That is it. They're just there to look good. That is all they're there to do. They don't stop crime. They don't chase anybody. They don't do anything. They just stand there and do nothing. You're totally right. But that's all they're there to do. They're not there for our protection. They are there for Johns Hopkins PR.
Leslie, I will be happy to talk to you more later. All right, if I might just have one more minute, I want to tell you about Let's Be More, the Baltimore Time Bank. You've heard two people talk about mutual aid. A time bank is a good part of the mutual aid, a healthy mutual aid ecosystem. It's a group of people who offer services and share their time and talents and energy with others in exchange for time credits rather than money. So I've got some flyers here that I'm going to pass out, but I want to let you know that our next meeting is on Thursday. We'll be in person in the Impact Hub and hybrid online. Some of what's happening on the time bank is Kiana Falk, one of your neighbors, has posted a request for moving help on June 22nd. There are offers on the website if you want baking lessons or instant pot cooking lessons. A couple people are offering transportation. One member is offering conflict resolution services. It's a real mixed bag, but time banks are like that. People are offering whatever they like. So I'm going to pass out some flyers and thank you for your attention.
Any other comments, questions, announcements?